Hello everyone, welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. Welcome to your CR Quest Part 15. My name is Savitri Krishnamurthy. I teach English and Logic at BYJU'S. Today we will understand what are reason assertion questions and how to answer them. These are asked quite often in aptitude tests, especially something like JMI or a symbiosis sometimes. Earlier, they used to ask a lot of reason assertion questions, so we should know all question types that are asked in critical reasoning. All right, if you are interested to join our CLAT program, if you have a dream of joining a law school, a national law school, then we have a comprehensive program for you. Before that, if you want to take a trial to see what the course is like, start your free trial by entering your mobile number. You will get 3 days free classes so you can see what the classes are like and then decide if you want to join or not. All right, let's start. Good evening, Anushka. So, in assertion reason questions, you get two statements. One statement is called an assertion. Now, in English, you know, an assertion is any positive statement. All right. And another statement is called a reason. Now, you have to determine if A and R are both correct or true. Okay, that's your first step. And then you have to see if R explains why A is happening. Hello, Payoja. All right. So two-step process it is. And there is a code. So you have to understand the code and mark your answer according to the code. The questions test basic general knowledge on science and geography. All right, mostly science and geography, bulbs, what is something like why does a boat or a ship, why it rises when it goes from one kind of water to another, why does a red flower look red, questions on sometimes questions on planets, on eclipses. So there can be questions on anything. A little bit of knowledge, not too much. Basic science and geography that you've done in school, that will be asked. All right. So this is the code. This is what the code looks like. Each question consists of an assertion and a reason. Examine them and select the correct answers using the code below. The first one is generally mark A if both the statements are correct individually. They are facts. They are correct. There's nothing wrong with them. And also if R explains A. For example, if I say in summer, people generally prefer white cotton clothes, you'll say cotton allows sweat to be absorbed and white is considered cool for summer, then that is the R, and you'll say yes, this statement is right, this is right, and R explains why people wear white or light and cotton clothes in summer. You will mark B if A and B are both correct statements, but R does not explain A. People wear white clothes, light cotton clothes in summer. People wear dark, thicker clothes in winter, woolen clothes in winter. Now, both facts are correct, but R is not an explanation for A. All right. Then mark C if A is true but R is false, and mark D if A is false but R is true. Now, some exams, after every question, the code is given, so you can easily mark it. In some exams, the code is given followed by 3 questions. So, you have to be very careful to know the answers that you're marking are according to the code. So, keep the code in mind and then mark your answers. All right? Okay, let's look at the first question. These are questions which have been asked in various aptitude tests, some law entrance exams, some other aptitude tests. Last few years, reason assertion questions have not been asked that often. All right. Not as much as statement assumption, statement conclusion, cause and effect questions. All right. Question 1. The soil in some parts of India is saline, having a lot of salt in it. R says evaporation exceeds rainfall in these regions, Punjab, Haryana, all these regions. If they test the soil for salinity, they find that it is saline, it has lot of salts and minerals in it. And R is saying evaporation exceeds rainfall in these areas. The rate at which water evaporates from the ground in these areas, these are hot areas, not too much rainfall. They get rainfall, but the rainfall is not enough. So evaporation is more than the rainfall, which is why the soil is salty or saline. Do you think both are correct? And do you think R gives the explanation of A? Then mark A. Otherwise, if both are correct, but R is not explaining the salinity of the soil in some regions, then mark B. All right, I've got three answers, two B's and one A. All right, the correct answer is A, because yes, when the water, soil also has some moisture in it. When that moisture evaporates, the salinity or the salt levels increase. Therefore, these soils are saline or salty. All right. Okay, next question. Now, this question was asked in a banking service exam in CLAT many years back. When this question was asked, we all marked one answer. Let me see what answer you are marking. And then we figured out what was the correct answer. So, I first want you to mark the answer. The main constituent of liquefied petroleum gas or LPG is methane. R says methane can be used very conveniently and directly for burning, used as a fuel easily because it burns very easily in homes and factories, and it can be easily supplied through pipelines. All right. So mark A if A and R are in. Now mark your question numbers. Okay. After this, I won't know. There's a small lag. So mark your answer giving 2A, B, C, D. Okay. Mark A if A and R are both true. That is, the main constituent of LPG is methane, and methane is used because it is very convenient to use as a fuel. It can be supplied conveniently through pipelines. All right. Mark B if both the statements are correct, but that is not the reason why the main constituent of LPG is methane. Mark C if A is true and R is false, and D if A is false but R is true. What is your answer? Shweta says A. All right. What are the other answers? I'm waiting for the other answers. Anushka also says A. All right. Waiting for more answers quickly. All right. Now, please check this. You have Google Guru. You can check. The main constituent of LPG is, we all marked A, the year that this question was asked in CLAT. We all marked A. All right. But the answer is D. The main constituent of LPG is not methane but butane. They said if you have, this is what the answer was. Methane is very volatile. You can't have a gas cylinder full of methane. Okay, it would be very dangerous. It would explode. So the main constituent is butane and methane is added. So and this is correct. So A is false but R is true. All right, look it up. Please find out for yourself so that this question is clear. All right. We all had made mistakes in this question. All of us came out of the exam hall and said, yes, A, and decided, then it figured out it was D. All right, next one. The moon has no light of its own, true or false. Some celestial bodies, heavenly bodies, reflect light from the sun, true or false. Is R the reason? Correct explanation for A, then mark A, otherwise B. If A is true, R is false. C. If A is false, R is true. Question 3. Give me your answers. The moon has no light of its own. Is A true or false? Some celestial or heavenly bodies reflect light from the sun, true or false? And then, okay. I'm asking, The moon has no light of its own because some celestial bodies reflect light from the sun. Why does the moon have no light of its own? We don't know why the moon has no light of its own. Right? The moon glows. We feel that it is lit. We feel that it has light of its own because it reflects light from the sun. But does R explain why the moon has no light of its own? Just look at the question and decide whether you want to add A or B. The moon has no light of its own, if you agree with it. Do you think the fact that, okay, there are some bodies which have no light of their own and they reflect light from the sun, that explains why the moon has no light of its own? The moon is not a star. Okay, stars have lights of their own. The moon is only a satellite. Right? So, R does not explain, is not an explanation for the moon having no light of its own. So, what is the correct answer? So, the correct answer is that yes, the moon has no light of its own. It's also true that some celestial bodies reflect light from the sun. Therefore, A and B are individually true. But R does not tell me why the moon has no light of its own. So, R is not an explanation for A. Therefore, the correct answer is B. Most of us in our moon is a celestial bodies. Some celestial bodies don't have light of their own. They reflect light of the sun. So, that is the reason why the moon has no light of its own. But when you think deeply, that is not the right answer. Clear? This is how we make silly mistakes. Alright, next question. Temperatures drop considerably at night in deserts. Wherever you have deserts, temperatures, daylight temperature, and there's a big difference between day and night temperatures. So, temperatures at night drop and it's pretty cold in the desert in the night. Is that because there is very little moisture in the air to trap the heat? If it's yes, mark A. If that is correct, that there is that desert ka matlab hi nahi hai that it will be very hot. It will be hot in the day and cold in the night. So there's a drop in temperature. It may be cold in the day and colder in the night. So why? Because there's no moisture. There is nothing to trap the moisture. A, if A and R are true and R explains A. B, if both are true but R does not explain A. Give me the question number 4. Alright. Why do we feel very hot? As they say, we live in concrete jungles. It's very hot. Why do we feel very hot? Because we live in concrete jungles. We live in places where there's so much glass that heat gets trapped inside. When there is nothing, there is no moisture, there is no tree cover, there is nothing in the desert. So, to trap the heat, that is why from the morning to the night, there's a significant drop in temperature. Therefore, the correct answer is A. Excellent. Alright, next question. Mercury is the hottest planet in the solar system. Mercury, excellent. All of you got that right. Alright. Mercury is the hottest planet in the solar system. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Tell me what is the answer. Humidity traps? Yes. Humidity, trees, right? Tree cover, all that you need. And deserts have nothing. Alright. Question 5. Mercury is the hottest planet in the solar system. True or false? It is the closest planet to the sun. True or false? What is the, there was what is the relative distance of different planets from the sun? Yes, Venus is the hottest planet. So, Payoja, how did you mark C? If A is false and R is true, you knew the answer, but you marked the wrong answer. Got it? Mercury is not the hottest planet in the solar system. Venus is the hottest planet because the gases in Venus are what makes it very hot. Okay? And it is true that Mercury is the closest planet. So, A is false, but R is true. Alright. You knew the answer and you marked D. Alright. So the correct answer is D. That's why I told you, sometimes you know the answers, you have to look at the code and decide which is the right answer. If A is false and R is true, the answer is D, not C. Okay, in the exam, any mistake means negative marking. So you'll get -1 for an answer you knew, -1/4. True, Venus is the hottest planet, therefore this is false and this is true. All right. No, no, don't apologize. The only reason I do assertion reason questions is one, of course, it's fun. It tests our general knowledge a little bit. But more than that, you have to keep remembering which one to mark. Even cause and effect, the same thing happens. In cause and effect questions also, students get a little confused. They think correctly that this is the reason why something else, this is the cause, this is the effect, but they end up marking the wrong answer. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you learned enough from the session. We'll have these short, sweet sessions, 5 questions each on every question type that you will be asked in critical reasoning or verbal logic in any exam. All right, let's quickly look at what is upcoming in terms of your courses. CLAT 2025, how do you start preparing? Why should you start preparing? What all should you do? Alpa will be taking a class on March 27th. All right. There is a scholarship test on 31st March. If you are serious about joining our courses, do take the scholarship test. You will get up to 90% scholarship. That is a big fee waiver on your preparation fees. All right. If you are interested in other legal entrance tests, join our online classroom programs. Get started on CLAT 2025 comprehensive course. We have enrollments going on. Our test series is going on. So do join any of those. Join any or all of our social media channels. Get updated. I will see you again on Friday at 5 p.m. For MHCET specific critical reasoning verbal logic questions. Tuesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. we will meet. All right? All right. You liked the session, do press a like so that I know the feedback I get that, okay, somebody liked my class, and then we will start with other things. Yeah, I've done one round of statement assumption, statement conclusion, cause and effect, course of action, and now I'm doing assertion reason. Once I get done with 5 questions each in all the question types, we'll go back to statement assumption. So we will be doing this on an ongoing basis. All right? Okay. See you. Bye-bye.